Welcome everybody back to the channel. This is another race in the 2021 Season 3 Week 3. Running a open setup late model race here at Concord Speedway. This may be a bit rough, haven't had a ton of time to try to work on the car, get it as free as I would like to be it. Running off the baseline, made some changes. It still seems to end up eventually building up too much pressure on the right front and left rear tires. It gets pretty tight through the run, so we're going to try to help that through our driving if we can. Qualified fourth, not a very good effort. Made some tweaks. Got absolutely nothing probably for the top two. I'll be thrilled if I can just maintain my position or finish third. So I'm going to try to give it my best effort. This is not a track I have a ton of experience. Very few laps. I don't think I've actually run an official race here at all. So it'll be interesting to see how it runs. We're going to try to do the best that we can, keep it clean, and try to at least hold our position, get down to the bottom. This is another one that typically runs on the bottom, so I want to try to not get freight trained on the outside, and
50 laps.
We'll see what we can do.
P4.
We are car number 3 in this, so again, we want to try to move up a spot if we can, but you can see the qualifying times. There's a bit of a disparity between the people that did turn it and the people that did.
Jensen, the outside lane.
Let's see what we can do.
Please catch up to Jensen.
Get everything set in case we do happen to have to use a fast repair. Hopefully everything will be clean. This is midday race on a holiday, so not sure about how the quality will be. I expect the 1 car to be very quick, and I expect the 2 car to probably finish right where he is if he can get a good start and no problems. So not sure if we'll be able to get by the 4 or not. We'll just kind of see how it runs out again. Bit worried about how this car is going to be the back half of the run. Typically, in my limited bit of practice, was doing 20 lap runs, so kind of got a feel for it, but didn't take it all the way through the full 50. So just see what happens and try to do the best that we can.
Ready. Go.
See, we still got the 4 there on the inside, so we're going to try to hold it up and see if we can get by him.
Hold your line. Clear low.
And we did a good job of getting by him. We're going to watch to make sure we don't get dive bomb going in. We make a little bit of contact with the 2, nothing too bad. Going to try to stay off of that as best as we can.
P3.
We could sit here and run third and not use up tires too much and save them. That'd be great too, but I'm just going to kind of feel the car out. Expected the one to pull away.
16.56. You've just done a 16.80. The guy ahead has just done a 16.80.
Typically I lift through 2 part way till about lap 7, lap 8 or so. See, we made some contact with the wall. I've been doing that quite a bit, getting off 4 or 3 not very well, so it allowed the 2 to pull away and allowed the 4 to catch up a little bit, so I'm trying to keep it clean.
P3.
Brake a little more into 3, let the car rotate, and then pick the throttle back up and get off cleaner. Just going to try to settle and get a rhythm going here. Finishing on the lead lap would be a great goal given how much faster the leader is, so we're just going to try to see what we can do here. We're going to wait another lap or 2 before we start going full throttle through 2. We seem to be pulling away from the 4, so hopefully it's one of those that we can maintain the gap and not lose it throughout the course of the run. Kind of just hold even with everybody and maintain some position right now. Save the tires, save the car through the run. Let's back onto the throttle, work our way out of 3. Try running full throttle through there, see if it gets too loose. Typically when the pressures are still building up, if I ran full throttle through there, it would get loose and snap off of 2.
The gap to Jensen ahead is increasing. It's now 0.88. Your lap time was
Continue to lift for a little bit. See, we got a little bit of lap traffic, but shouldn't be a worry for a few laps.
Time was at 16.91.
See, he goes way high for the leader. We get a little bit loose getting into the corner. Hopefully we can catch him in the right spot.
79. The gap to Jensen in front is now 1.00.
9 goes high. Hopefully he'll stay up there. We can get low on him entering the corner, and he does that. Helps us out big time. Take it easy getting through one, so we know we give up more gap to the 2. See, we're getting quite a gap on the 4, so that makes me feel a little more comfortable. That way that I can kind of just ride and get into a rhythm. Try to click off laps as quickly as we can. We're about a quarter of the way through the race now. I want to burn my stuff up trying to catch the 2 right now in case his setup falls off harder on the back end. But I also don't want to ride so much that I lose touch with him and can't build it back up later on in the run. Big goal for me for consistent laps is to make sure I get slowed up enough coming into turn 3 and don't slide the car too much on entry.
Lap time was 17.06.
Try not to slide the car too much through 3 to not build up that temperature on that right front and exaggerate that push condition.
The gap to Jensen ahead is now 1.92.
Ideally, if I would have had more time, I definitely would have loosened this car up and tried to get it to rotate through the corners a little bit more. Just going to try to make do with what we have. Probably move the brake bias back a couple clicks, help the car rotate on entry a little bit more. See, we picked up the throttle a hair too much there. And we did move the brake bias back 2 clicks, so it's 1% more towards the rear than where we started. Try to get back to making sure we brake a little more entering 3s. We're definitely losing touch with the 2, although he seems to be catching the 1, so that could be an interesting battle for the lead if it develops.
The gap to Jensen ahead is now 2.5 seconds.
So we're definitely losing touch with him, but again, we're wondering if maybe we'll be able to build up a little more time on the back end of the run and catch up to him. So we're just getting ready to complete lap 20 out of 50, so. And you can see we've pulled quite a bit away from the 4, so we got a little gap that we're in right now. We get a little loose off of 2. Try to save it. Thankfully that big gap allows us to be able to recover from that, just reset and go. Just going to try to run a little easy, let the tires cool off after that slide. I'll lift again through 2 until the tires cool. Got plenty of space from behind. Cars definitely still feels hot and rotating in too much on entry.
Jensen in front is now 3.5.
It's unforced errors that I definitely need to practice and try to clean up. That stuff cost me a ton of time. Car feels a little better, so we'll see if we can tack turn 2 again, full throttle. Still a little bit hot, but not as bad. Tires seem to have cooled off. Try to work our way around. Not catching the 7 as quickly as we did the 9, so we've got a little bit of time there.
Okay, Jake, you're halfway home. Your fuel is fine. That was at 17.13.
Halfway through the race.
Ahead is now 4.2 seconds.
Just finding this happy hole, trying to stay here and not make any mistakes that we don't give the spot up.
That lap time was
barring
17.15.
any sort of errors, we should be able to finish third. We're going to try to work our way around the 7 through turn 3 if he lets us. He's definitely running us a bit tighter, gave us a little bit of room, but
Keep it steady.
work by him through the front stretch and into
Clear
1. Hopefully clear him. Not have him dive bomb us, and then we'll try to clear the 9 as quickly as we can. 9 thankfully stays high, doing a great job to let faster traffic by.
Outside.
Looks like the 9 and 7 make a little bit of contact off of 3 there. And we'll settle back into our groove as we're 5.5 back a second, so it's going to take a miracle to close that back up. Although that's a very good battle shaping up as they're only about a half second apart, so it should be a great race for the lead there. See a little bit of smoke ahead, so we'll keep an eye out on slower traffic for that. Looks like that was car number 6. Should be right ahead. And we're 30 down, 20 to go. Just kind of easing our way around. Gonna bring the brakes back another 2 clicks, so 2% back now out of the 4 that we can get. It's a big adjustment to use in race, really helps the car kind of continue to maintain a consistent feel on entry when it wants to get tighter. It's one I'm trying to learn to use a lot more in the race so that I can keep a consistent pace.
The gap to Jens ahead is increasing. It's now 5.7.
Work our way to the inside. He does a great job to give us the low lane.
Keep it steady. Clear outside.
So we barely tapped the log coming out. We got on the gas a little too early coming out of 3 again. Leaders are getting into a lot of lap traffic, so not sure if we'll get to them before the end of the race, but just going to maintain our pace, try to get around as cleanly as we can, to run as consistent laps as we can. So again, it's likely to take a tangle with some lap traffic for them to wreck and us to be able to get on by.
That lap was a 17.36.
Move the brakes back another 2 clicks to 3% in total. We'll probably use the last 1% in the next 5 or 6 laps or so to finish out the run. Track can be a lot of fun, like I said. I just have very limited experience, so I struggle with it and still trying to learn the setup for what the car likes.
17.49.
3 corners are all different. They all preside themselves with a unique challenge for how to get through.
The gap to Jens ahead is now 6.9.
Likely going to catch up to the 9 car again, but he's been fairly courteous at letting us by, so hopefully that should be a non-issue getting by him. Come to the line with 10 to go.
That lap time was 17.31.
Again, we can see 4th isn't even on the radar, so
7.0 seconds.
we got quite a bit of a gap there. Kind of just ease it around, and again, there's no shot at catching 1st or 2nd, barring them wrecking and being knocked out. So we're kind of just gonna push and try to get some laps and data, but also not put ourselves in any bad spots at all. We're gonna take the rest of the brake bias back now with 8 to go.
17.36.
I never really felt too loose at all, so we definitely could probably loosen it up as we feel like it's starting to get a bit tighter and want to push out of the corners. Doesn't want to rotate quite as quickly as I would like.
Clear outside.
see 5th and 4th are actually only about 5 seconds ahead, so we got a massive lead over that. So again, this is where we're going to finish barring any massive change or unforeseen circumstances. Cross the line with 5 to go now.
Was at 17.66. So Jensen ahead is now 9.1.
A little more than about 2/3 of a lap down or so for the leaders, so not as good a performance as I wanted, but about where I expected to be given the limited track time for this. Something I plan to work the rest of the season on and run about another 7 weeks of this, so and try to learn the setup as best we can, see if we can get more competitive compared to the leaders. I'm gonna come across the line with 2 to go.
Jensen ahead is now 9.4 seconds.
Actually, 1 to go. There's the white flag.
Okay, Jake, 1 more to go. Keep it together. We'll be on the podium.
Aim back here, keep it clean. Limp the car around. Bring home with 3rd place finish, so able to get a good start, get down the inside of the 4 and work our way around. 4's right there. Actually drop back to 6. And we had nothing for the 1 or the 2, so happy to finish there, and again, learning the setup, working our way through it. So
what's your speed limit in the pits? Pit lane speed limit is 30 miles per hour. Box in 880 feet. $300 feet. 100 feet.
and we'll get out, take a look at the tires, see how they did. You can see we heated up the right front a little more. That was about 9/10 of a pound more build up than the right rear, so that contributed to that tight condition. You see the wear was about the same, but the temperature was a little bit higher. We had about the same thing on the left side, left rear heating up about 6/10 more, so both of those kind of contributed to that and leaning too far over on the right front, but not as terrible. Definitely can work on that for future races and get those numbers up there. Is that 78, 79% is not really good. You want to finish more in the mid 80s, upper 80s or so. So we will jump out, take a look at the results. Pull these up. You can see this was the top split out of 2, fairly weak in a 1990 strength of field. So 16.517 out of the 1 car had absolutely nothing for him. We were almost 2.5 tenths off of that. Kind of found our gap, definitely fit right there in the 3rd place. My ultimate goal right now is to try to get within a 10th average if we can. So we got a little bit of work to do. So about 2 tenths, chop that out. But you see we gained 35 on the I rating, 0.05 on the safety, so building that back up, and 84 points. So not a terrible finish, but not the best. Definitely got some progress, but we'll get there, and everybody will be along for the ride. So look forward to next video coming out. And again, like and subscribe this to check out more. And leave a comment if you want to see anything or have any suggestions or comments, anything you gained from this. And until next time, take it easy.